Are you being affected by burnout? To check your level of burnout, just answer the following questions. Do your days seem endless? Do you find yourself having problems focusing on the tasks at hand? Does it seem like you're on a treadmill that just keeps going faster and faster while you're not getting anywhere at all? If you answered yes to these questions, then there's a really good chance that your level of burnout is high. So let's talk about what burnout is. It's just a state of chronic stress. Now, but listen to that, a state of chronic stress. That means it's always on. It's draining your energy. It's leaving you feeling physically and emotionally exhausted. Now, if left unchecked, burnout can cause you feelings of ineffectiveness, and it can make you feel like you're not getting anything done. Now, this can leave you with a feeling of being detached and frustrated, for some people even depressed. Have you ever felt this way? Now, most people who live in modern society have, and that includes me, as well as many of the clients I've worked with over the past 40 years or so. So let me tell you about a client I had who I worked with who had a really significant level of burnout. I'm just going to call her Mary. Mary was successful by almost anybody's standards. She was in charge of a large division of a major company, and she was earning over $250,000 a year. She came to me because she was tired to the point of exhaustion. Her eyes had deep circles under them. She told me she hadn't slept well in over a month. Her chronic insomnia was causing her problems at work, and she had a hard time remembering sometimes even the simplest things. Another problem was the slightest irritation could just set her off at a coworker, and this is also affecting her relationships at home. On top of all that, she had lost her appetite and had a cold that just wouldn't go away. She told me that she felt totally down and out. She actually told me she felt depressed. That's why she came to me. Now, additionally, she told me that she was unhappy. In fact, she'd been unhappy for at least 6 months, if not a year. She also told me that she tried to take vacations to get over this, but she didn't find them helpful because she couldn't rest. She tried meditation, but she couldn't slow down, get her mind to slow down. It just keeps running and running. I think that's what she told me. Mary was suffering from extreme burnout. So what I did is I asked her to describe a day in her life, and she told me she would often work 10, 11, even 12 hours a day. And at work, she found herself unable to concentrate because she felt guilty about not spending enough time with her family. And when she was with her family, she was mostly thinking about her work. Does that sound familiar? Well, I can certainly relate to what Mary was going through. And since you're working in today's fast-paced world, maybe you can too. Well, after talking a little more about what was going on in her life, I taught Mary 3 mindful mind hacks that you can also use if you want to lower your level of burnout. The first one was belly breathing, which is usually the first mindful mind hack I teach anyone who comes to me for any kind of help. Essentially, it's learning, or perhaps a better term would be to relearn how to breathe properly. I taught her this first because it's the easiest way to practice being here in the present. And you can find an article on belly breathing on my website. The second mindful mind hack I taught her was, what was I just thinking? Now, this is a practice that comes from mindfulness meditation. Anybody who's ever had their mind taking them down the anxiety track will tell you that the only way you can get back on the right track is being aware of how that thinking is affecting you. Now, what was I just thinking helps you by getting you in touch with the many thoughts going on through your head all day long. Once you begin to recognize that these thoughts and how they're really affecting you, you can do something about them. One of the biggest reasons Mary was stressed and anxious was because she was constantly thinking of work at home and home at work. What was I was just thinking helped her recognize what was happening to her. Now, the third mindful mind hack I taught her is here and now. Now, in essence, here and now uses belly breathing to concentrate your mind on your breaths. This practice also comes from mindfulness meditation. Now, as you take in and release your deep breaths, you try to think only of your breathing. Then when another thought comes into your mind, as they always do, don't judge them, don't think about them, just say thank you. Just say thank you to that and then here and now, and come back to your breathing. Here and now is used to discipline your mind to be more in the present. Now, what Mary told me is after a couple of weeks of practicing this, her mind didn't jump around so much, and she was able to sleep better. By the way, both What Was I Just Thinking and Here and Now are part of my free course, 3 Mindful Mind Hacks to Supercharge Your Success, that you can pick up if you go to my website. So, Mindful Mind Hacking was able to help Mary pull out of her burnout slide. It did this by helping her learn to take charge of her thinking. That's because everything in life starts with your thinking. And your thinking controls your actions. Actions repeated enough turn into habits. And after a while, those habits can turn into your destiny. But it all starts with your thoughts. And that's where Mindful Mind Hacking really comes in. It helps you control your thinking by bringing you back into the here and now. Now, instead of spinning your wheels, thinking about your past failures or your future worries, you can focus your energy on getting done what needs to be done right here and right now. And this practice will lead you away from the burnout, and now you're able to move down the path to achieving the great things that you have inside of you. Well, that's all I got for you for today. This is Will Dieck wishing you only success.